All right, we have finished cutting, or at least hopefully you finished cutting. It did take a couple of hours to cut all of it, but it wasn't too bad. Maybe if you haven't finished, commit to cutting one color per day. It takes the longest to trim all those points off. So I will tell you that I have trimmed off the points on each of the diamonds. That way it, when I'm matching this up, it matches up straight with these. So I'm going to show you real quick how to put these together, because I pinned everything because I want to do a lot of chain piecing. So this is the diamond block that we're working on. The first one we do is we're putting it together like this. Refer to your pattern so you know which colorway to use. And you line it up. They're going to be connected like this in a straight line. So I just flip this one over, line up that edge with that notch that I cut, and then with the notch on this side, I kind of turn it around so I can pin it better. I am pinning these because I'm going to chain piece a lot. And we are going to sew the dark and the lights, both the top and the bottom. I just piled it up in a huge pile, and I have pinned all of them. This is all of these. So we're just going to chain piece all of these, and I'll tell you, it felt so good to be done with cutting all the pieces for this quilt. Oh my goodness, guys. We are in month 10 of this sew along, and I am so excited to be working on the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start sewing and just chain all of these pieces together. So if you would like, get all yours pinned up and let's go for it. Oh, before I get started, I did want to let you know that I am using a scant 1/4 inch foot on my FOF machine, and I'm using Dove Aurifil thread. I've got my stiletto, I've got my snips just in case, I've got my pins, I used every single one of them, and I've got my seam ripper, but I don't think I'm going to need jack today. All right, let's start sewing. Now, don't you wish sewing could really go that fast? All right, so now I'm just going to kind of break these apart, and then I will show y'all how to put together a light one and a dark one. This is probably the most piecing we have, and I know I'm only giving y'all a week,
but next week is not very much. There's just 8 kind of blocks to do. Well, I shouldn't really be saying that, but so you can catch up with these. These are real simple. There's just 4 pieces on these, so not difficult at all. All right, I'm going to set those to the side. These are the light blocks. So we are going to keep those to themselves. And while I'm doing this, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsors. They've been so sweet in working with me and giving y'all lots of fun gifts and things like that. Especially the Sew Tight cutting system. Wow, they got it out quick. I think she got it within 3 or 4 days. So we, want to thank Sew Tights for being our major sponsor, Aliso for being a sponsor, Kona, Robert Kaufman for, giving us all their fun fabrics, Magic Craft Spray, one I use every single time I sew. I start with doing it. It's not really a starch. I haven't found that it shrinks my fabrics. And I really, really, really like them. All right. There's quite a few of these. You've got to make more dark blocks than light blocks. So when you're doing this, you are actually using all of your A blocks and your A pieces and your B pieces. C, you're using some, but you've got to use it for the triangle blocks and also, no, it was the light blocks and the triangle blocks. So you've got that going on. All right, I didn't want these to be too weird. And then I'm going to finger press one to show y'all how to sew it, and then I will iron the rest, and y'all can get going on the rest of the blocks. I'm just going to show you how to sew one, but I'll do one each. That'll be fun because we don't get to sew that often. So one of the things I do want to tell you is that we are going to be doing a kind of live sew together for the pillow on New Year's Day. I figure I'm closing the shop, giving my employees time to be with their family, and you and I can just kind of sit and sew that pillow together. That'll be fun. I think that'll be fun. And I haven't decided what background color I'm going to use. I thought maybe I'll use the silver. Maybe I'll use something else. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure what my background will be with that. I'll have to check in my shop and see what I've got. But I have time to think about it. So do you. We're still just on the first part of the background, sewing these last pieces together. And this is the first block of the background. So close. All right, so that's all of them. Really though, chain piecing those, it made it, I think I sped up the video, but it probably took me about 15 minutes tops after I penned. The penning took the longest. But you can get them sewn together rather quickly. All right, so I'm going to take one of each. I'm going to use my By Annie stiletto to kind of press open these seams. With Julie stuff, it's better to press open the seams because there's a lot of bulk when you're sewing the pieces together. So it's just nice to have a consistent open seam with these. Okay, get this one pressed open. This is the dark block. And I do know there is a color. So how you know which one? See, those are the two colors. They're going to go opposite. I am pretty sure it's like that, but I'm going to get the book to make sure. Let me hop over here real quick. I Actually, I have it wrong. That's okay. That's why you refer to your book. I don't want to get it wrong again. This goes like this, and this goes like this. So that's your block, and that's how it's going to match up. So you turn it over, and again, what you can do, because you've cut your notches in your diamonds, that's where I would start. I would match up those ends and then look at this, and remember the center line where this is sewn is going to match up with the outer tip of the selvage, not the selvage, the seam allowance on this side. So if that is lined up, and that looks really good, then I'm going to stick a pin in it instead of stick a ring on it, stick a pin in it. Now you're going to be singing that in your head. I am going to give this just a little pin, and yes, I am going to go through all of these and then chain piece these. But I'm not going to go through all of that with you. I'm just showing you how to do this. We're not sewing along. But when we do the pillow, I'll be doing that. Okay, so that is my dark block pinned and ready to sew. I would chain piece this as well. Like I said, sorry. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I had to sneeze. I would chain piece these two. It just is going to make it go so much quicker. And then you're not like stopping and pinning and stopping and pinning. Okay, so we've got that one ready. Let's finger press, for lack of a better term, this one using the Bianni stiletto is my favorite. She's not a sponsor, and I'm not getting any money from it, and I didn't get any money from any of these sponsors. But boy, I absolutely love the stiletto and presser on the end. It's lightweight, it's long, it's ergonomic, it's got a flat edge so it doesn't roll. There's not much that I don't like about this. And it's wood, it is actual wood. So there we go. And again, I'm going to look at the pattern so I know which way to turn it. There's two of these colors which are the same. And this one goes like that and looks incredibly beautiful. So same thing, because we cut those notches, we're going to try and line that up first and see how that falls. And that is just lining up beautifully, I will say. I don't feel like I'm having to make very many adjustments. Ouch, caught myself there. Just putting a couple of pins in here. It's like pin and take it out, I know, but things just stay in place for me a little better. All right. I won't speed this up too much because we're just sewing a couple of them. Stiletto to keep that down. I'm going to go right into sewing the dark one as well. This is what I mean by chain piecing. Spend a little time pinning, and then you can just, ouch, you can just go for it. Just poked myself. All right, let's see how we did. And LDH scissors, I almost forgot about them, but I love my LDH snips, and they have been just wonderful. And I love their scissors, absolutely love their scissors. And perfect, look at that. Oh my goodness, that is perfect. And let's look at this one. Perfect. This is going to be an easy piece. All right, so that is how you sew together those blocks. This is it. And then you just press that open and give it a good press, and you sew the rest of these, and this is the diamond block. All right, next week we are going to do triangles. Yes, we're going to do triangles. And like I said, there's not as many of those, and there's only 3 pieces that you're putting together with that one. So if you fall behind, because there's a lot of these to sew, then you can kind of catch up next week. And keep in mind that you'll have all of January as well. So, all right, save the date for January 1st. We will sew the pillow together, and that is it for the diamond blocks. We're getting close. I'm excited. All right, thanks, guys. Happy sewing.